Kidding. Do you like the Honor 5X? I was checking out this phone. I've been using it for the last 3 months since I had a Moto G6 which died. And oh shit. Let's see. Seems like my GTA is updated. This thing can run GTA in 1080p. It's quite reasonably well performing in this thing. My freaking phone could fuck it. The reflections, like the HD edition, like the remaster, but it's a good frame rate. So I get the Buster.
Enjoy your meal, sir.
Buster. Straight Buster. I'm filming this video testing the potato film in my next phone. It's gonna be, which is a potato, but it's a 20 bucks potato that can be rooted and has a nice 32 gigs of memory from factory and 2 gigs of RAM. It's better than the Honor. It's the best processor than the Honor. Let's see, I can drive GTA with one hand without getting myself killed. Right in the open world. It runs well. No, I'm not gonna kill some civilian with a shotgun just because Ryder is a fucking idiot. Who's the Buster? And you know the ending. I try to play the civilized as possible. We're not killing anyone whenever possible, because there's sometimes the mission tells you to kill somebody and whatever. That's GTA in the Honor 5X. Full 1080p, max out. Going back through the menus, going back through the game. There's the settings right here. Max everything. Only the brightness is a little bit lower. I have the frame limiter on because it gets smoothed out. It's a trick they use with the consoles, with the PlayStation 2, with the Xbox, because those were very weak consoles which had like ridiculous amounts of memory and ridiculous graphics cards. This is like a 2 gigs of RAM compared with what the freaking Xbox. I always like the Super Mega Moon. I have some bug around here and there, but definitely it's playable. And you can go back to the menu instantly. It's a very good little old phone. You can open browser right out. Start browsing your stuff. Compared with this thing, it's turning 7 years old next year. It's 6 years old. By the way, it's a 6-year-old phone which can still cut through stuff and get stuff done, and compare its usability against this. Looks like fancier, but feels way cheaper. The fingerprint sensor, sometimes it doesn't read at the first time like this one. And this always read at the first time, even with the case. Because I had a lot of phones that I had trouble using a case. It suddenly went crazy and didn't want to read the fingerprint. and never has failed in all the almost 6 years. Well, I had it for 3 or 4 years. I don't fucking remember. This has been through two batteries. Well, my mom used it with the stock ROM, and it was a pretty ancient 2017 ROM, and I updated it with Lineage OS 10, which is running a security patch from November, which is a 9-day-old security patch in a 6-year phone. That's pretty good to me, even if it's not the latest Android. It still cuts it. So for most basic stuff. So for example, if you are the kind of user that is using this phone in 2021, 2022, this is cheaper, but it's like half of the power that you get with this. But this feels better in your hand because it's made of metal. And I'm gonna take the case off. It's like brush aluminum back in there, and it feels pretty good in your hands without a case. Though we developed this damage right here in time, this little crease right in the volume buttons. I don't know if it's a case or just the use. Um, it's a 16 megapixel shooter, which is quite decent. Um, it has a 1080p display, which most phones nowadays, for example, this has a 720p display, and when you zoom in enough, you can see the pixels, or where you have your phone like close to your face. It shows pixels. In that aspect, it makes it look worse than this, and also like the viewing angles on this one are quite good. Well, this one is it's hard to shit when the viewing angles right there you see shit. Right there you see shit. Um, Snappiness. They feel almost as snappy because the Samsung thing running on the top. Although this is Android 1 3.0, which is Android 11. This is like a $50 phone nowadays. $70, $100 phone. It's very good, and depending on the condition that you could get it, it might need a new battery. You might need to unlock the bootloader, which will cost you not too much. It's gonna be cheap and it's gonna be guaranteed to work. This unlocker service, and not sponsored by them or in any shape or form. No way. That's what I use to unlock the bootloader of this thing, because Huawei owner doesn't let you unlock bootloaders since 2010, I guess. That's it. That's another phone review update of what it's great phone. It's still a great phone nowadays. That you can still use for basic use, or like for backup when your main phone breaks, like for giving it to another person who needs a phone, whatever. So yeah, I think it's better than this. I like it more than this. I still like my Honor. 2015 mid range is better than 2020 low range, though they sell it as a mid range device here. This in my country because it's a third world. It's not mid range. This thing is low range at most because it's all plastic. This is all metal. Yeah, I even seen low end phones made of metal because supposedly this is cheaper because it's recycled cans. It's made from recycled cans, and this is from raw material. It's not from recycled plastic, and plastic recycling is more expensive because you have to for getting that tincture, the color. You have to make like certain tests in the molding process and all that stuff, and that is more expensive than this. Like just gold plating, gold coating this thing, and you're good to go. Mm, so yeah, that's it. The Honor 5X in 2021 is big brains and big PP, and you will get a free ThinkPad if you install Lineage on your phone because you might need it for that process.